Hello, Flat Earth believers. This is Darryl E Berry Jr. back with my fifth Flat Earth response, titled Rob Skiba's Accumulating Proofs for Roundness A. My third Flat Earth response addressed Flat Earthers' baseless and erroneous claims about the space programs, saying they are fake, even to the point of calling rockets CGI or rocket-assisted blimps. I'm not making this up. Of course, they have no proof of this. It's directed at a flat earther calling himself DRTRH. I'm hoping one, several, or all of these prominent flat earthers would directly discuss with me their flat earth claims. None have yet, though a few have said they would. Let me know when you are ready. I've also made a brief comedy-focused response, which I didn't originally include in the lineup, but which I now dub response number 4. This fifth Flat Earth response has to do with prominent Flat Earther Rob Skiba's budding evidence of proof for the roundness of the Earth and the soundness of mainstream science when it comes to astronomy and such. Let me say that Rob Skiba is a Flat Earther that I have some respect for as a scientist. At least he does some real-world stuff soundly, and when he does and proves for the roundness of the Earth or for the accuracy of space agency media, he still posts the data. Props on that. To wit, first is Rob Skiba's recording of the curvature of the Earth via a high-altitude weather balloon. We can see here that the Earth is curved via a prominent Flat Earther's own video recording. The curvature is clearly there with a non-fisheye lens, unless you want to argue that he added fake footage of curvature into his own video presentation to proof for the flatness of the Earth, and then lies about it. This proves the Earth is curved. Let's look and listen.
That's when you see the camera running.
Oh man.
And we didn't. That's the disclaimers. We're not giving anybody any ideas.
Yeah, we're not to give anybody any ideas.
You're drinking Mellow Yellow anyway.
Yeah, Mellow Yellow's not any good for you.
Yeah, when you go for it, you think that you're getting a can of pop or soda.
Well, obviously by now, if you believe in the globe, you're quite happy to have seen curvature in a lot of this footage, even from the 7.2mm lens. If you believe the Earth is flat, you're probably denying that you did see curve. Well, when I saw this footage, I gotta be honest, I couldn't deny that I did see some curvature. That was naturally quite frustrating for us, but
unfortunately, this time, Rob goes on trying to make excuses for the clearly apparent curvature in his own video, claiming the equipment still caused the curvature, even though he specifically got the non-fisheye lens equipment to eliminate equipment-induced curvature such as added by fisheye lenses. But sure enough, every time, whenever a flat earther does something real enough and soundly enough, they will find the curvature. The second Rob Skiba curvature proof is evidence for the authenticity of our space programs. Yes, the people behind governments lie, especially the people apparently or covertly comprising the United States government. But for some reason, Flat Earth believers conclude that since governments lie, and since they say the Earth is round, then the Earth must be flat. I see this argument made regularly by Flat Earthers. We know the governments lie. And you are going to believe them about this? You're going to believe NASA about this? They're lying to you. As if the only way people conclude that the Earth is round is because they listen to government personnel. Sorry, but that's not the case. You are probably projecting onto us how you get your information. I noticed that Flat Earth believers delude themselves into thinking they're scientists, when usually they just repeat what nonsense they heard and saw on a social media presentation. But moving on. Regarding this satellite photo of the Earth and the Moon, Rob Skiba originally stated,
the moment that NASA shot themselves in the foot, boom, was just recently when they put out that video showing the Earth from about 1.5 million miles away, allegedly, satellite over 1 million miles away, looking towards the Earth, and the Moon goes in front of the Earth. If you haven't seen that, look it up. That one right there is the video that NASA's basically saying, you know what, we're throwing in the towel ourselves. We're full of crap and we know it, and we're just going to tell you, yep, we're full of crap. See if you can figure it out. But this is what really got me. The camera is about 1 million miles away, looking toward the Earth, and the Moon comes between the camera and the Earth, and it's about 25% or so the size of the Earth. Okay, pause that picture, pause that image, stare at it. The same way I asked you guys to stare at the word circle and the word ball on Google. If you can find this video, when the Moon gets right in between the camera and the Earth, pause it, stare at it, and see what you can figure out is wrong with it. Because I'll tell you, the first thing that popped out to me was, if that's the way the real scale is, from 1 million miles away on the other side of the Moon, looking toward the Earth, then if you're standing on the Moon and you're going to take a picture of the Earth will be covering the entire sky. You'll be looking at blue water and entire continents. You will not be able to see black anywhere in the sky. Everywhere you look, you'll be seeing the Earth, which basically means every single picture you have ever seen allegedly taken on the Moon of the Earth is total crap. They just exposed themselves with this most recent high-tech camera, high-tech satellite, 21st century technology, just exposed the entire Apollo space program as completely and utterly bogus.
but then he finally decided to do the experiment that he encouraged others to do, and this is what he found.
Satellite Rob is over 1 million miles away. And what do you know? We've come up with pretty much the same exact results that NASA had.
And with pictures taken from the Moon.
If you get up close, everything changes. So, when you're kind of coming up over the Moon, the Earth does look small. Very interesting. Look at that. You're on the ball, looking toward the Earth, it does look smaller.
Yep, and it looks pretty darn close to what the Japanese satellite showed, as well as what the pictures from allegedly from the Apollo space program showed. So, it's kind of back to the drawing board, I guess, but I'm admitting here to the public.
I commend Rob Skiba for coming forward with the facts of the matter when he did the experiment, both recording Earth's curvature via a weather balloon and validating the perspective in NASA and other space agencies' space photos. These leave me with the impression that Skiba really is trying to find or learn the truth. If he continues doing sound, real-world experimentation and investigation, I think eventually Skiba may be the first and perhaps only flat Earth believer to later recognize that the Earth is round. And if you come across any more of Rob Skiba's proofs for the Earth's roundness or our space program's accuracy, please let me know.